Hello! Thank you for joining us for our 2020 San Diego Rep Latinx New Play Festival. I am Maria Patrice Amen, and I am coming to you today from National City, which is just outside of San Diego, and we are on the traditional lands of the Kumeyaay. I'd like to thank our sponsors, the California Arts Council, the San Diego Union Tribune, and Dylan Jacobs. We invite you to check out the reception page. So that's the first page that you go to when you come to this website. On that page, we have a program with all of the different events that we have this weekend. We also have a Meet the Artist bracket where you can find headshots and bios for everyone on this panel, as well as everyone across the festival. There is also a dramaturgical packet with information about all of the readings that you'll see this weekend. We encourage you to use the comment bar on your right, right here on the right side of your screen. There is a button at the top that can expand or minimize that bar depending on your preference. We would like to remind you that this is a live event, and as a live event, there's the possibility of technical difficulties. Run into technical difficulties on our end, please, we ask in advance patience. We will clear them up as soon as we can. If you run into technical difficulties on your end, we have a phone number for you to text us and reach out to us. That number is 619-940-6091, and it's listed right at the top of the comment bar if you lose track of that. Okay, I think that's all the introduction notes that I need to share with y'all. Oh, we encourage you to stay with us later today for our reading of The Kukui Will Find You by James Sanchez at 1 p.m. Pacific time today. And now we are so excited to use the festival as a platform to share with you some of the local work that's happening in and around San Diego. And this project came to us last year, I believe. It was introduced to me last year, and it's a very exciting project, the Frontera Project, and I cannot wait for all y'all to get a little sneak peek into the project. I'd like to invite now Jessica. Let's bring her on, and the other project coordinators.
And actually, Ramon is going to start.
Hello.
Hey, Jessica. I'm not sure that I can hear you. Is your audio on?
I can hear you.
I think it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay, it was just
I'm going to start.
Sorry, y'all.
Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. Good morning.
I'm going to mute myself and hand the stage over to y'all.
Thank you. Thank you, Patrice. Thank you. Hello, everyone. Good morning. It's a pleasure to be here. Thanks to San Diego Latinx New Play Festival for this amazing experience for crossing borders in many, many ways. I am Ramón Verdugo, and I am calling in from Tijuana, Mexico, the traditional territory of Kumeyaay. Today, I am happy for sharing this panel where we will discuss about the Frontera Project, a new play from Bárbara Perrín from Tijuana that I co-direct with my dear friend and colleague from New York, Jessica Bauman. For this panel, we will be joined by 5 actors from both sides of the border. They are Natalia Escobedo, Lourdes Best, Valeria Vega-Kuri, Jesús Quintero, and Gerardo Flores. Thank you. Jessica.
I'm Jessica Bauman, and I'm in Brooklyn, New York, which is the traditional territory of the Canarsie people. And as Ramon said, we are so grateful to Patrice and everyone at San Diego Rep for inviting us to be part of this amazing festival. It is certainly a silver lining of the pandemic moment that I'm able to be with you today. So my relationship with Ramon and Jesus, his partner at Tijuana Hace Teatro, began with a TCG grant that I got in the spring of 2019 to spend some time getting to know Tijuana Hace Teatro and their work. I will be forever grateful to the wonderful David Diamond for introducing us. I was especially interested in understanding Tijuana better because early 2019 was a time when one of the big caravans of migrants from Central America had arrived there. I've been doing a lot of work with refugees and immigrants, and I was and continue to be really interested in migration stories. I kind of imagined that Tijuana was a place that was fundamentally organized around the experience of migration. So the most powerful lesson I took from my residency in Tijuana was that pretty much everything I thought I understood about the border was wrong. Instead of being organized around migration and passing through, I found a whole world of people with deep roots to this place, connecting them on both sides of the border. So I flew into San Diego for my residency, and before I even got across the border to Tijuana, I got to meet the folks in the Escuela de Espectadores, which is Tijuana Hace Teatro's School for Audiences program. I spent that afternoon with about 10 Mexican theater lovers watching a play about yoga written by a South Asian American playwright that was being produced by a women's theater in a strip mall in San Diego. So my time in Tijuana was filled with these kinds of experiences. Watching Valeria, who's one of our actors you're about to meet, unpack everything bagels from the trunk of her car, bought in San Diego to sell to her customers at her amazing art space coffee bar in Tijuana. Because doesn't everyone want an everything bagel with their flat white? Or eating at Telefonica, the hipster artisanal food court a few blocks from the theater, filled with people from both sides of the border. You might have heard about Telefonica because it's been written up in the New York Times. But the list of things I saw that blew away my preconceptions goes on and on. So I realized as a non-fronteriza that there is a world of stories and experiences that I knew nothing about. The fact that in general, we talk about the border as something that can be closed is a tip-off that we don't actually understand the reality of life there. So with the zeal of a convert, I decided to find a way to take these stories to people like me who don't have a firsthand experience of the border. Also, I really wanted to find a project to do with Ramón and everyone at Tijuana Hace Teatro. So together, we have been creating the Frontera Project. We are collaborating with artists from both Tijuana and San Diego to explore exactly the kinds of stories that are usually invisible. Our goal is to bring the piece to communities far away from the border, to audiences like me who don't even know what they don't know. In the course of a lot of conversation and collaboration, we have learned how each of us has something essential to contribute to the project. Ramón and Barbara and the actors who have been collaborating with us bring a wealth of experiences, stories, and perspectives from their own lives on both sides of the border. My job is to be an ambassador for those stories. We work in an unarguably messy mix of languages. A few of us are fully bilingual, but many, myself included, are not. We want everyone to express themselves in whatever language they need to do their best work. So every room we are in together goes back and forth between Spanish and English. So far, I would say that we are understanding each other much better than any of us might have predicted. We are joyfully and definitively making it up as we go along. And now I'm going to hand it back to Ramón.
Thank you, Jessica. And last December, we did this workshop with 9 artists from Tijuana and San Diego to explore possibilities for approaching new visions about the border. And we start with our stories. And now we want to share with you some experiences in the next video. Jesus, please.
The Frontera Project is a collaboration between Mexican theater artists and American theater artists to collaboratively create a theater piece about the border. Not just stories of migration, but stories about people who are building their lives on each side of the border with connections to the other. We started a workshop with 9 actors, 4 from San Diego and 5 from Tijuana. And we explored cliches of the border. We explored personal experiences and personal stories through writing and music and dance. It's been a remarkable week of collaboration and digging deep into personal stories and sharing them in all kinds of different ways, playing all different kinds of games to get at the nuances and the kinds of stories that don't often get told.
We've got smoking, we've got gringos, hookers, idiots.
En estos 6 días encontramos canciones hechas en inglés-español, incluso los lenguajes, el inglés-español, cruzaron sus propias fronteras. Trabajamos con música nueva, generamos con instrumentos, cantos. En nuestro taller de 9 actores teníamos obviamente actores, músicos, cantantes, bailarines, performers, de todo el sentido de la palabra. El workshop buscaba ir un poquito más allá de los tópicos comunes de la frontera. La migración sí es parte de, pero también hay una realidad fronteriza que muy pocas veces se toca por considerarse tal vez que no es la más importante. Bueno, estamos muy contentos de que este sea nuestro primer paso en un camino que estamos seguros que para el 2020 será el más adecuado para llevar la frontera a otras fronteras y que esto nos permita justamente con este proyecto explorar la diversidad que nos da la frontera.
Hi, everybody. I'm Bárbara Perrín. I'm the playwright, born and raised in Tijuana. And well, the images we just saw, I hope we can get the audio in a few minutes, but this was the workshop, and this was pretty great for me. It was, I think, a personal border that was crossed because for me, writing a play is usually a very lonely process. It's me and my computer, headphones, and no one talking to me. And this time, the research process was the workshop surrounded by beautiful people, but it was definitely something that made me come out of my comfort zone. Other personal border I crossed was the language. This was the first play I wrote in English. My native language is Spanish, of course. But this was a very beautiful experience because we talk about these conceptual borders more than also the little border of the 2 countries or 2 states. We share a lot of personal experience, and when I tried to write the actual play, I tried that these metaphorical conceptual borders were present in the stories of the characters. And also, we had a lot of fun in the workshop. What Jessica was saying about a lot of things that you heard about the border, the majority of the things that go to the media are really bad news. And I'm not trying to say like, oh, everything is beautiful in the border. Tijuana is a wonderful place and trying to sugarcoat everything. No, but there's a lot of everyday stories about the fronterizos that are never told. And in the workshop, a lot of these stories came up, and most of them were really fun, or maybe it's my twisted sense of humor, but there's a lot of diversity in these stories, because one thing about, I don't know if every border, but our border in Tijuana is, everybody is from someplace else. It's hard to find someone that was actually born in Tijuana, and that makes it very rich in culture. There's a lot of people meeting, a lot of weird and crazy stories meeting in the same place. And we talk about all this in a very diverse group of people, of fronterizos. And I love the process. I think all that we worked during the workshop is reflected in the play, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I did writing it and living this process.
Thank you, Barbara. And we are still in the process, but after the first draft, we tried to keep the conversation between us, and of course, we have had meetings with the actors to explore the stories and narratives of the play. And particularly with this situation, we had readings and digital platforms to continue developing the play. And now we want to share a bit of this work. And Jessica, please, if you...
Sure. So I'll just tell you, we're going to read 3 short scenes, each of which is an example of one of the primary threads of the play. So the first one is, we have several journalist characters who are from local news on both sides of the border. And we try to look at the ways that the media skews the narratives in various directions. So the first scene is a little taste of the San Diego news about Tijuana. The second one is one of several freestanding scenes that we have just little windows into different border experiences. So the second one is that. And then the third one is the introduction of one of the main characters, a woman named Gabby, who is a Nicaraguan immigrant who had tried to get to the United States, but winds up settling in Tijuana. So I'm going to invite the actors for the first scene to join us and turn their cameras on, and we will share it with you. All right. Scene 1, something about his face. American news reporters Heather and Cole interviewing Mr. Jake White. Epic news jingle. Bam, bam, bam.
Here is the news.
The American news.
The most important news in the world.
We're the heroes of information.
The organization.
What is happening in the world right now?
Epic news jingle. Bam, bam, bam.
A brave man named Jake White may have saved a whole neighborhood this morning.
He started an investigation after meeting a new neighbor on the block.
Why? A bad feeling sparked this hero's detective instinct.
Call it a hunch. Since the first time I saw him, I had a bad feeling about him. Something about his face just looked evil.
A photo of Simon appears. He looks Mexican.
This is his evil face. Jake also told us that he has a pinup girl tattoo on the back of his arm.
Could it be a prison tattoo?
After a little research, Jake found out that his neighbor had a criminal past. He has been charged with a DUI and drug dealing.
I don't want my kids playing in the same street where an alcoholic drug dealer lives. We have no tolerance for that in a nice neighborhood like ours. But that wasn't the worst part.
Mr. White found out that in addition to his despicable felonies, his neighbor wasn't even a legal American citizen.
It was obvious that the only way he could have bought that nice house is with dirty money. And if he had a legit job, well, he was taking it away from an American.
As soon as he found out, Mr. White called the cops.
The officer successfully arrested Simon Sanchez just before breakfast.
He was deported to Mexico immediately.
Thank you. Service to the community.
Is what any good citizens will have done.
Today, Mr. White's kids and all the kids on Gardenia Street can play and sleep safe.
We need more of his kind in the world.
Let's go back to the studio to hear about the weather.
Epic news jingle. Bam, bam, bam. Scene 2, a bit of the border. Two friends are trying to schedule a coffee date.
How about Friday, around 4 o'clock?
Impossible. I have a meeting in San Diego at 11.
Oh, you can totally get back to Tijuana by 4.
Oh no, believe me, it's impossible.
Ay, qué exagerada.
You'll understand it when you get your visa.
If you don't want to go out, just say it, dude.
I'll explain.
Please do.
Imagine you wait in line for 2 to 3 hours to get across the border.
Awful.
You're finally there. You go to your meeting, everything's fine, but you can't just go back to Tijuana immediately because you remember you need to make a stop at the bank to get the cash from the US account to pay rent next week.
Can't you pay your rent in pesos?
Mrs. Sierra only accepts dollars.
Huh, clever lady.
And you definitely don't want to wait in line for 2 hours again for a 15-minute stop at the bank.
It doesn't seem wise.
Also, you need to check your P.O. box, which is just across the street from the bank.
Well, you're already there.
Oh, how wonderful! In the P.O. box, you find that your exquisite banana-flavored protein has arrived.
Oh, the one you drink after yoga? It smells really nice.
And you only find it online. Oh, and of course, while you celebrate the arrival of the protein powder, you remember your dog decided to use your yoga mat as a shoe toy.
Chihuahuas are crazy.
You need a replacement.
I'm starting to get your points.
After that, you realize it's lunchtime. So you Google restaurants nearby and find a new cute spot that's not near at all.
Always.
Now you need to get some gas. A great idea because American gas is much better. $15 will last all week.
Everybody keeps saying that to me.
Oh, there's a Target.
Target?
You'll love it. It's better than Disneyland.
I've never been to Disneyland.
Target is way better. You ask yourself, should you get some groceries? Yes, you should. You won't find cookie dough Pop-Tarts in Tijuana.
Well, that's not essential.
What? Already 5 o'clock? Traffic is awful. Everyone is on their way back home from work. The freeway feels like a never-ending parking lot. You get to Tijuana at 7 o'clock, and you need to get all of the split stuff that you just brought out of the trunk. It's 7:30 p.m., and you're sitting in your living room exhausted, sweaty, hungry again, and with your butt feeling all numb from all of those hours driving. You're definitely not in the mood to see your best friend for coffee.
What a nightmare. I don't want my visa anymore.
Oh, no, you'll love it. But let's meet at my place on Saturday morning.
Va, me late.
I'll make you cookie dough Pop-Tarts.
Oh. Scene 3, Gabby's American Dream. Gabby and a narrator.
Nicaragua has been a beach for me.
Daydreaming is the best you can do when you're ahead.
Dream about a place that doesn't keep breaking my heart.
And stealing your stuff.
And stabbing me in the back over and over.
Nicaragua has spit on your face after throwing you to the ground.
¿Qué más quieres de mí?
Keep dreaming, young Gabby.
I'm getting out of here as soon as I am 18.
America.
I'll ask for asylum.
Nicaragua has been a bitch to you. You tell them that.
They'll welcome me with open arms.
Maybe you'll get into college.
I want to be a chef.
You'll wear one of those white chef hats.
I'll meet a blue-eyed prince. We'll get drink. We can drink vanilla milkshakes, sharing the same glass with 2 straws.
You'll marry him in a white dress.
Can we have one of those big blonde dogs?
This is America. You can have whatever you want if you work hard.
A golden retriever.
In America, the waves don't tear houses into pieces.
I'm skating in the pier and my skin shines like gold.
In America, dads don't get shot in the street.
My job is to make cherry pies all day. My gold skin is sprinkled with flour and sugar.
In America, surfboards don't hit moms in the head.
Everything tastes sweet.
But you're in an amazing shape because you skate on the pier and you walk your golden dog every day.
Oh, look at my golden six-pack.
You live in a big house that smells like you're inside a cherry pie.
I have 2 blue-eyed kids with fancy American names.
Everything delicately surrounded by a white picket fence.
And there's no need for more. Nobody will steal your stuff.
Of course not. This is America.
On Sundays, we have barbecues in the backyard, which is full of gardenias. Oh, that my well-educated dog never destroys.
Your blue-eyed prince cooks the most delicious burgers.
That gives me a break from cooking. That I don't really need because I love my job.
And it's also so well paid.
We're saving for our kids' college and our retirement.
You're making it big, Gabriela.
I'm living the dream.
But first, you need to get out of here.
I'm getting out of here as soon as I am 18. I won't let this place hurt me again.
Gabriela left Nicaragua a few weeks after her 18th birthday.
Hurricane Mitch arrived as soon as I left.
It struck Nicaragua like nothing ever before.
But I didn't care.
Why should you?
I'd already lost everything I loved.
There's a song that says, freedom's just another word for nothing left to lose.
Is that an American song?
Of course.
Great, thank you. So that's our little taste of the script. And Victoria is going to come on and explain how we're about to do our next thing, which is part of the whole idea of the Frontera Project is to engage the audience in an active and meaningful conversation, not just for us to talk and other people to listen. So what we are now going to do is split into breakout rooms. There's going to be one in English and one in Spanish, and Victoria will explain to you how to get there. And we're going to spend a few minutes in breakout rooms talking a little bit, and then we'll come back again for if we have a little time for a Q&A at the end. So now Victoria will explain to you what to do next.
Hi everyone, my name is Victoria Cepeda. I am the stage manager for all of our panels. So what you're gonna do is on the left-hand side, you're gonna press your screen, you're gonna press the sessions tab. There's gonna be 2 other breakout sessions, one in English, one in Spanish. And we are going to have our conversations in those 2 separate rooms. So you can go based off of which language you prefer, and that's where we'll have our breakout discussions. So again, on the left-hand side of your screen, go to the sessions tab, scroll down, and you'll see the 2 breakout session rooms.